have started the we have solved the example on the Gauss elimination method. Today I am taking the topic that is eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a square matrix. So in the last we have already solved the examples on the Gauss elimination method there. So today I am taking the topic eigenvalues and eigenvectors of a square matrix. First we move to the definition here. So what is the eigenvalue and eigenvector? Suppose A is our square matrix given a square matrix A. Given a square matrix A. Suppose A is a given square matrix. Suppose there exists any scalar. Suppose if there exists any scalar lambda and also a non-zero square matrix, a non-zero column matrix, a non-zero column matrix. Suppose A is a given square matrix. If there exists any scalar lambda and also a non-zero column matrix X such that Ax equal to lambda x. Suppose Ax equal to lambda x, then lambda is called a eigenvalue of A. Then lambda is called eigenvalue of A, and x is called the eigenvector of A, corresponding to the lambda, corresponding to an eigenvalue lambda. Suppose if A is any square matrix, if there exists any scalar lambda and a non-zero column matrix X, then such that if Ax equal to lambda x, then lambda is called the eigenvalue and x is called the eigenvector of an corresponding eigenvalue of the lambda. So this condition will be if it is satisfied, if any matrix A, if there exists any lambda and x, then if it satisfies the condition Ax equal to lambda x, then lambda is called an eigenvalue and x is called an eigenvector. Here I am going to now move to the how to take a simplification. Suppose if I is the unit matrix, unit matrix nothing but the identity matrix. Suppose if I is the unit matrix of the same order of A, of the same order as that of A, we have means I should be taken, I is an identity matrix that should be of the same order of A. Whatever the order of A, the same order of the I will be taken. So we already know that the property of the identity matrix that I into x is always equal to x only. Using this property, I am going to write Ax lambda x as a Ax equal to lambda into I equal to x. X can be written as a Ix. By using the associative law, I can be written with the lambda I of x. Both are nothing but the same, because lambda into I of x first it is. After that I am going to apply the associative law, lambda I of x. So now take this entire term onto the LHS side and take the x as a common. We get a minus lambda I into x equal to 0. 0 is nothing but the null matrix. 0 is nothing but the null matrix. You have to take this term onto the LHS side and then take out the x as a common. We get A minus lambda I of x equal to 0. That is our null matrix. Now what we have to do? Let us consider 3 order matrices. Let us consider a square matrix. Let us consider a square matrix of order 3. So I am going to represent it by represented by A equal to A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. So it is of the third order. So I also taken in terms of a third order matrices, means lambda into I. I am taking directly lambda into I here. Lambda into I will be taken as it is same of the order A. So lambda into I, multiply that lambda onto the every term. So lambda 0, 0, 0, lambda 0, 0, 0, lambda. Now what we have to make? Now A minus lambda into I becomes A minus lambda into I is equal to A1 minus lambda, A2 minus 0, A3 minus 0, B1 minus 0, B2 minus lambda, B3 minus 0, C1 minus 0, C2 minus 0, C3 minus lambda. So that is A minus lambda into I. And also we have to take, let consider capital X equal to small x, y, z, that is our column matrix. Here it is a third order, so that why we have taken the column matrix, that is of the number of rows is 1, 2, 3, column is 1, so it is of the 3 cross 1 matrices. So now we have to take now we have to write A minus lambda I into x is equal to 0. So represent a set of homogeneous equations. So this is called a set of homogeneous equations in a 3 unknowns. How to write it? Means A minus lambda I into x. Multiply the first row with the first column. So A1 minus lambda into x plus A2 into y plus A3 into z equal to 0. Next, 0 into x, sorry, b1 minus 0, b1 minus 0, b1. So b1 into x plus b2 minus lambda into y plus b3 into z equal to 0. Next, c1 into x plus c2 into y plus c3 minus lambda into z equal to 0. So those are called set of homogeneous equation in a 3 unknowns will be formed by the A minus lambda I of x equal to 0. So now a non-trivial solution for this system is exist. A non-trivial solution for this system of the equation is exist. if the determinant of the coefficient of the matrix is 0. A non-trivial solution for this system exists if the determinant of the coefficient matrix is 0. A non-trivial solution for this system is exist if the determinant of the coefficient matrix is 0. Means we have to write the matrix for this system of equations. We already know how to write the system of equation for the homogeneous equations. So that I am going to write here. So that a determinant must to be a 0. Then we say that a trivial solution for the system will be exist. Means determinant of first equation, coefficients of the unknowns. Coefficient of x is a1 minus lambda. Coefficient of y is a2. Coefficient of z is a3. Similarly for the second equation, coefficient of x, coefficient of y, coefficient of z. Coefficient of x, coefficient of y, coefficient of z. That determinant should be a 0. If that determinant is 0, then we say that a solution will be exist. So that is the trivial solution for this system. For this system, trivial solution is exist if this determinant is equal to 0. Then only trivial solution is exist. On the corresponding, we get a, after simplifying this determinant, we get a cubic equation. So when we get the cubic equation in terms of lambda, means where we get the equation cubic in terms of lambda, and which is called a characteristic equation. Whatever the equation that we have obtained after simplification of this determinant, that equation is called characteristic equation. Characteristic equations of a matrix A. And whatever the values we will be obtained for that characteristic equation, the roots of that equation, the roots of the characteristic equation, the roots of the characteristic equations are called the eigen values. Means whatever the values of the lambda we get, those are called the eigen values, or we also call it as eigen roots, eigen values, eigen roots, and also we called it as characteristic roots, and also called a latent roots. And if it is cubic equation, we get the 3 values of the lambda. So for the every value of the lambda, we will be obtain an eigenvector. For each value of the lambda, we get a eigenvector. We get a eigenvector x, which is not equal to 0. For each value of the lambda, we get a eigenroot that is not equal to 0, which is also called characteristic vector. So here, so whatever the explanation we have done here, it will be very helpful to our procedure of finding the eigenvalue and eigenvector here. So first here, the matrix A will be, if exists, suppose A is any square matrix, if it exists any lambda scalar, if there exists any scalar lambda and a non-zero column matrix X, then if it satisfies the condition X equal to lambda X, then lambda is called the eigenvalue and X is called the eigenvector. Corresponding to an eigenvalue of the lambda, we get a X corresponding eigenvector here. Means for each value of the lambda, we get a corresponding eigenvectors here. And here, whatever the matrix A will be taken on the same order of I is also taken, where I is an unit matrix or also called a identity matrix. Whatever the order of A, I is also having the same order. So here we know the property of the identity matrix, Ix equal to X. So replace the X by Ix now and apply the associative, take with the lambda I of X, and then take a lambda I of X into LHS side and take the X as a common. We get A minus lambda I of X equal to 0. 0 is nothing but the null matrix. Now consider an explanation here we have taken to the explain. Let us consider a square matrix of the order 3. Matrix A will be taken of the order 3 and taken the lambda I. So here A is taken as of the order 3, so I is also taken of the order 3 here. Now take a subtraction of A minus lambda, A1 minus lambda, A2 minus 0 is A2, A3 minus 0 is A3, B1 minus 0 is B1, B2 minus lambda, B3 minus 0 B3, C1 minus 0 C1, C2 minus 0 C2, C3 minus lambda. And now we have to consider, let us consider X equal to XYZ. Here we have to take the multiplication, as we know that the rule of multiplication. Suppose A is of the order M cross N, B is of the order P cross Q, then N should be equal to P. Then only we can make the multiplication. Here that is compulsory. We know that X should be a column matrix. Column matrix means there is only a one column. So Q should be a 1. Now we have to choose a P. When you want to choose the P, take a minus lambda I. A minus lambda is of the order 3 cross 3. So it should be a N equal to P. So N equal to P means here if it is 3, then here also it is a 3. Means our matrix of X should be of the order 3 cross 1. So that our unknowns are taken X, Y, Z. So take the multiplication of A minus lambda I into X. We get the homogeneous set of the equations with the three unknowns, that is A1 minus lambda into X plus A2y plus A3z equal to 0. B1x plus B2 lambda y of plus B3 z equal to 0. C1x plus C2y plus C3 minus lambda of z equal to 0. A trivial solution will be exist for this system of equation if the determinant of the coefficient matrix is 0. For this system of equation, we have to write the matrix and that determinant should be a 0. Means determinant of this should be a 0. Then there exists a trivial solution. So after simplification of this determinant, we get a cubic equation. Cubic equation have a 3 values of the lambda and we get the cubic equation in terms of the lambda. So if we get the lambda values, so those values are called the roots or characteristic roots or eigenvalues or latent roots. So the values of the lambda will be called the eigenvalues. And then substituting and resubstitution of each value of the lambda in the system of equation, again we get a x value, that is called eigenvector or characteristic vector. And now I am moving to the properties of the eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So what are the properties? Properties of eigenvalues and eigenvectors. Properties of eigenvalues and eigenvectors. So come to the properties here in the first one. So the first property says that sum of the eigenvalues of a square matrix, sum of the eigenvalues of a square matrix is equal to the trace, is equal to the trace. Trace is nothing but the sum of the principal diagonal elements, sum of the principal diagonal elements, sum of the principal of the diagonal elements of the matrix. Meaning of this property is whatever the values of the lambda we get, sum of all those lambda, suppose it is 3, if you get the 3 values of the lambda, sum of those 3 lambdas is equal to sum of the principal diagonal elements, means sum of the a1, b2 and c3. Sum of these 3 elements is equal to sum of the values of the lambda. So sum of the eigenvalues of a matrix must be equal to a trace. Trace nothing but the sum of the principal or diagonal elements here. So second property says that product of the eigenvalues of a square matrix, product of the eigenvalues of a square matrix is equal to the determinant of the matrix. Product of the eigenvalues of a square matrix is equal to the determinant of the matrix. So product of the eigenvalues of a square matrix means whatever the values of the lambda we will be obtaining after the simplification of the determinant. So product of all those lambdas is equal to the determinant of this matrix A. Whatever the determinant of the matrix A, that should be is equal to the product of the values of the lambda. That is our second property. So and third property says that if lambda 1, lambda 2, so on lambda n are the eigenvalues of an nth order square matrix, A, then lambda 1 raised to k, lambda 2 raised to k, so on lambda n raised to k are the eigenvalues of an a matrix A raised to k. Eigenvalues of an nth order square matrix A raised to k. That means suppose we have a lambda 1 equal to 1, lambda 2 equal to 2, means A is of the second order. We have the lambdas 1 and 2. Suppose if we take A raised to 3, then it is simply a matrix A. Then A cube matrix have a eigenvalues lambda 1 equal to 1 raised to 3, lambda 2 equal to 2 raised to 3, means 8 and 1 are the eigenvalues of the matrix A cube. 1 and 2 are the eigenvalues of the matrix A. So that is the meaning of the third property. So next property is fourth one. The eigenvector the eigenvectors x of a matrix is not a unique. Means suppose lambda 1 having, if lambda 1 and lambda 2 are the two eigenvalues and respected eigenvectors are not a unique. Respected eigenvectors are not a unique here. So that is our fourth property, says that eigenvector of a square matrix A is not a unique. There will be a different eigenvectors will be present for the single square matrix A. There is no unique eigenvector will be exist for the matrix A. So that eigenvectors are not a unique. That is our fourth property. Fifth one, if lambda 1, lambda 2, so on lambda n are the distinct eigenvalues of an nth order square matrix A. Of an nth order square matrix A. Then the corresponding eigenvectors x1, x2, so on xn form a linearly independent set. Means whatever the eigenvalues we will be obtained from the eigenvalues. If suppose lambda 1, lambda 2 are the distinct eigenvalues of an nth order of a square matrix A, then the corresponding eigenvectors whatever we have obtained x1, x2, so on xn, these are linearly independent, not dependent to each other. So that eigenvectors will not be dependent on each other when lambda 1, lambda 2, so on lambda n are, when all the eigenvalues are distinct, then whatever the eigenvectors we will be obtained for each eigenvalues, those will be linearly independent set. Those will not be dependent on each other. They are purely independent. That is our fifth property. Come to the next property. If two or more eigenvalues are equal, if two or more eigenvalues are equal, it may or may not be possible to get linearly independent eigenvectors corresponding to the coincident eigenvalues. That means suppose if we obtain the two or more eigenvalues are equal, means suppose lambda 1 and lambda 2 are equal, then it may or may not be possible that whatever the eigenvectors we obtain, those linearly independent. It may be possible that they are independent. It may not be possible that they are linearly independent. Maybe they are dependent or may not. For only the coincident eigenvalues. If the eigenvalues are distinct, then all the eigenvectors are independent. But when the eigenvalues are equal, there may be or may not be possible to get a linearly independent eigenvectors. We cannot sure that the linear vectors means eigenvectors are independent. Clear? It may be or may not be possible to get a linearly independent eigenvectors when the eigenvalues are equal. Clear it is? When all are distinct, then the eigenvalues are distinct and they are linearly independent. When the two eigenvectors are equal, then their corresponding eigenvectors, whatever we obtain, there may be or may not be possible to get a linearly independent eigenvectors. We cannot be sure to get a linearly independent eigenvector here. So there may be a chance to get a independent eigenvector. Clear it is? May or may not be possible to get a linearly independent eigenvector. There may be a chance to get a independent eigenvector here.